Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome if this is your first time riding the ripples, and welcome back to my dedicated Ripple Riders. I'm your guide, Majenica, and this is Rippled Reality. We are looking into the waters of reality today to see what's moving through your life right now. As always, believe it if you need it. If you don't, just pass it on. If these reflections find a place in your heart today, leave a ripple of your own in the comments section. Please give me a like and, of course, subscribe to join the circle. It really helps the channel. Make sure you stay until the very end because, as always, I close out the reading with a special message from my own personal tea and fortune collection for a final bit of fun synchronicity. So, let's take a deep breath together and dive right in. Thank you for being here. If you're new, I really appreciate you showing up today. I typically do a past, present, future, and then we clarify and expand upon that with other cards. Oh, there we go. There's our past. Thank you, Spirit, for being here today with us. Let's see. Oh, we got our present. And in the future. Thank you very much, Spirit, for being here today. And please give us an idea of what we're working with in our futures. We've got a Seven of Swords, a Five of Cups in reverse, and our future. The High Priestess. Alrighty, so starting off, we've got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords can indicate that your time to recognize dishonesty or denial and confront that in your life. Perhaps you've been wondering if there was some sort of deception or lies or schemes. It also can indicate taking risks in your life, and it can indicate planning out tactics and strategy. So if you notice on the card here, he's holding four of the swords. I'm sorry, he's holding five of the swords and two are on the ground. He can't exactly carry all of them in one go. So he needs to find a way to carry all of them back. And if I recall, he's stealing the swords from the opposing camp. The little tent in the background. He is part of the deception and trickery. So just be mindful. Perhaps you've had some sort of behind the scenes tactics going on. Hopefully it is in your past now. The Five of Cups in reverse. I do read reversals, so if you're new here, I do take them. I think they're a good reminder to us what to be cautious for, perhaps a warning in our life. So the Five of Cups can talk about looking for the silver lining or the glimmer of hope behind grief. As you can see, this person is grieving. They've got their head buried in their lap here, and three of the cups are spilled. But if the person would just turn around and look behind them, there is a silver lining there. Two of the cups are still upright. And that indicates that there is a glimmer of hope in your life. So perhaps you just came out of something very heavy, found some truths out that you weren't exactly thrilled about, found out that someone was deceiving you or lying to you, and you're going through a grief period. That's understandable. It never feels good to have someone lie to you or find out that there was a lot of scheming going on behind your back. So yeah, it's understandable that you would be feeling quite mournful of that. And sorry, I apologize if you are going through so much. The good thing about this is it fell out in the reverse, which talks about reversals. I appreciate because they give us a different perspective at times. So it talks about accepting what happened, perhaps moving on from what's happened to you. Now is the time, Spirit's saying, to move on, accept what happened, recover from it. Take that time you need to forgive and recover. And notice behind you, there are still two cups that you can drink from. And in the far, you may not be able to see it, it's pretty faint, but in the far distant, off in the distance there is the tower. So, you know, it's indicating that you need to take time to really appreciate what you have and accept that things may be over. You might have fallen from that tower, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a silver lining to this that you're just not seeing. Turn around, take time to meditate, and look behind you. And meditation, I don't mean sit cross-legged and I mean you take time every morning, 5 minutes, if all that's what you've got to spare, and really breathe deeply and appreciate your breath and where it's coming from and where you are mentally. That's what I mean by meditate. Take a couple of minutes for yourself every day to just breathe. And yeah, you'll see that it serves you well. It gives a sense of renewal and abundant clarity that you might need right now. And the last card in our future position is the High Priestess, ruled by the moon, which we do have a full moon coming up. So the High Priestess talks a lot about your intuition, your unconscious intuition, and quietly observing things. So that's exactly tying into what I was saying with the Five of Cups here. Take that time to really be intuitive with yourself and really take the time to quietly observe what's still working in your life. You know, they say when it rains, it pours, but also after a rain shower comes the flowers. So take that time that you need. Yeah, it hurts. I know it hurts to be deceived and lied to, but really appreciate what you still have going for you. Look inside and come from a place of gratitude, and that will serve you well. Let's go ahead and pull some clarifying cards. I usually don't pull for the past, but I will pull for the present and future. Sometimes I might get a little curious about the past. And in this instance, I'm using the Luna Loppen deck, which is adorable little rabbits. Oh, they're just so darn cute. So we'll see what comes out. I will actually pull a card for the past just to see if we can clarify what deception or what type of dishonesty you might have encountered. Spirit, please help us to understand what type of deception or dishonesty or what type of negativity we might have encountered. So the Moon card, the Five of Cups again, which interesting, and the Ten of Wands. Okay, so I take what comes as it comes. I roll with the punches here. So the Moon card talks about illusion, intuition. So perhaps it's yourself. Perhaps there's some sort of subconscious fears that you're facing. Again, with the Five of Cups. Now, this time it popped out in the upright, which, you know, can talk about mourning a disappointment, mourning some sort of, you know, failure or despair. Very understandable. Ties right in with that. But we'll look at the Ten of Wands here. The Ten of Wands talks about letting go of what's been burdening you. As you can see, this poor little rabbit here is holding all 10 wands, and that's got to be burdensome. So letting go of the things that are burdening you, taking time to really let go of that stuff. It needs to pass through, and it thankfully came up in the past. So maybe this is something you're working through currently. But yeah, just don't let it burden you down anymore. Take responsibility for the actions that you have done. Take a little bit of accomplishment knowing that you've survived this, but don't let it burden you forever. So we'll look at the Five of Cups here. Five of Cups, current moment, present moment. We're sitting in a reversal with the Five of Cups, which, you know, is healthy. Accepting what's happened to you and moving on from it, forgiving if there was some other parties involved. Perhaps you got passed over for a promotion at work, even though you were told that, promised that position. You know, and I apologize if that happened to you. I know how cutthroat it can be, the work environment. It's unfortunate sometimes. I've personally had that happen to me, so I understand. And it's okay to accept that, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And accepting that we can't always control other people. We definitely, oh, that's tons of cards that came out here. So I'll go with the one that actually is upside down as a little surprise here. But yeah, we can't always control other people. We can control how we respond to them. So acceptance is important. And then the future is temperance. And a Six of Pentacles underneath of it. So, and this card on top is the star. Now the star is it's actually quite beautiful. It's a cute little rabbit. I love this deck in particular. It's so cute. The star talks about healing and hope and renewal and serenity and clarity in your life. So again, what I was saying, taking that time to really meditate upon the things that are still working for you and know that there is a future. There's a light at the end of that tunnel. This is an Aquarius card, so if you're an Aquarius or you know an Aquarius or you have Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in Aquarius, this is definitely your sign here. And then we've got Temperance. Temperance talks about, this is a Sagittarian energy. It talks a lot about balance and harmony and purpose. Taking that time to adjust and have moderation in your life and feel a sense of tranquility. You can see that he's moving the water from cup to cup. And that's just really talking about that balance and being able to find within yourself the strength to adjust to what may have happened, disappointments that may have happened, and, you know, moving on. That's very important here. It's talking all about harmony and finding what your purpose is. Again, meditating helps solve any purpose loss or purpose lack you may be feeling. So taking that time to really meditate and use your intuition with the High Priestess to bring forth your purpose. And it can lead to, this is like a little bonus card here, the Six of Pentacles, which I can't make this up. Where can you find balance in your relationships? You can see on the card there is a scale behind the rabbit, and these two rabbits are receiving coins. They look like they're receiving 5 or 6, probably 6 coins here. So where can you find balance in your relationships, in your life? Talks about charity, generosity, empathy, that sense of give and take. So that is huge coming out in the future. All it requires is for you to accept and take the time that you need to find your sense of purpose again, to heal what has been hurt. And so, yeah, let's see. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Wands, which talks about the start of a new venture, expansion, and taking action in your life. So that's actually perfect. It ties right into this, because once you take the time to meditate and really get a sense of where you're going and appreciate what balance you need to discover with yourself, taking that action, expanding. It might be a time for you to plan a trip. It might be time for you to come up with a new strategy and use that strength that you have learned to move forward with your life. I am going to pull one more card just out of a different deck, just to clarify. I'll pull from the Light Seers deck. And Spirit, what advice can we give the lovely viewer at home moving forward? Perhaps there's a specific piece of advice they need right now. Thank you so much. If you've stuck around this long, leave a little star in the comments section, just so I know you made it this far, and so that we can commune on that higher level of hope and healing. Oh, it popped right out too. Wow. So the Wheel of Fortune came out. Love the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a Jupiter card. It talks a lot about movement, change, going through new cycles in your life. So this is perfect advice for all of this. Moving forward, and finding that it also speaks of good luck and good karma. So, you know, perhaps it's time for you to make a change. Perhaps, and I say this a lot, sometimes rejection is God's protection. It is not always the end of the end of everything. Sometimes rejection really is God's protection. So keep that in mind moving forward. The Wheel of Fortune talks about change and cycles of good luck, and perhaps even you are destined for more. Maybe you weren't given this, or maybe you were denied this in the past, but there is something more waiting for you. There is a greater destiny awaiting you down the line, as we can tell with the future set here. And as always, I'm going to end the reading by pulling a tea and fortune cookie card just for you, just to see what kind of energy, what kind of synchronicity we can close the reading out with. Thank you so much for being here to the very end. And like I said, just leave a little star or pose a question in the comments. I would be happy to pull a card for you. It'd almost be like a one-on-one. If you were to leave a comment with a question, I will pull a card and I will respond to you with whatever card comes up. So feel free to do that. I would love that. And as always, I've been collecting these for about 10-ish years now. So this is chock full. I do a blind draw. We'll just kind of dig around in here and see what there is to see. We've got this one. Now these are kind of neat because they're from a different manufacturer, different tea company. And this one actually says, "What a desolate place would be a world without a flower." So remember that you have your own specific talents and beautiful flowers to give the world. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. You are a person who has lots of talents. You may have some that are buried and not even know that they're there. So just remember that what I was saying earlier about, you know, after the rain shower comes the flower. There you are. It would be a desolate place without the flowers of the world. Thankfully, I don't see that in your future. In your future, I see you being intuitive and healing from the pain of the past and moving forward with your life to accept your destiny and your good luck and your good fortune. So thank you so much for being here, Ripple Riders. And this was Rippled Reality. Looking forward to seeing you next time.